Welcome back, everyone, to our journey to Angkor Wat. I'm David, and with me, as always, is the wonderful Anna.
Hey everyone, thanks for joining us again. If you listened to part 1, you know we talked about our first day in Cambodia, arriving in Siem Reap and watching the sunrise at Angkor Wat.
Yeah, that sunrise still feels like yesterday, but today, in part 2, we're going to take you inside the temples, the carvings, the history, the atmosphere, everything that made our experience unforgettable.
And for English learners, we'll continue using past tense and teach you some new vocabulary for describing places, art, and emotions.
So, grab your notebook and let's travel back in time together.
After watching the sunrise, we finally walked across that long stone bridge leading into the temple. The air was warm and smelled like old stone and incense.
Yeah, I remember that bridge clearly. It felt like walking through time. Each step echoed softly, and I couldn't help thinking about all the people who had walked there before us. Monks, kings, travelers.
It's crazy to think Angkor Wat was built almost 900 years ago during the Khmer Empire, and it's still standing, strong and graceful.
Exactly. And you know what amazed me most? The carvings. Every wall was covered in bas reliefs, those flat stone sculptures that tell stories.
Yes, I remember one of the most famous ones, the churning of the ocean of milk. You explained that story to me while we were standing there.
Yeah, I love that legend. It's a story from Hindu mythology. Gods and demons work together to churn the ocean and produce the elixir of immortality.
And the carving was so long, like a giant ancient comic strip, full of movement and detail.
Exactly. For our listeners, here's a great vocabulary word. Intricate. It means very detailed and complex. So you can say, the carvings on the walls of Angkor Wat were incredibly intricate.
That's a good one. And another word is awe-inspiring. It means something so powerful and beautiful that it fills you with awe.
Definitely. I remember standing there in silence, just staring at those carvings. It was truly awe-inspiring.
I even whispered, how did they make this without modern tools?
And I said, with patience, faith, and vision.
You were so poetic that day.
Once we entered the central area, it got cooler and quieter. The light from the open windows created these golden beams across the stone floor.
Yeah, it was magical. And I remember hearing monks chanting softly in the background. It made the whole place feel alive.
I actually recorded a short video there, and every time I play it, I still feel the calmness.
That's the thing about sacred places. They hold energy. It's not something you can explain with words.
True, but you can try. For our English learners, here are some good descriptive words. Serene, calm and peaceful. Majestic, grand and impressive. Sacred, something holy or deeply spiritual.
So you could say, the atmosphere inside Angkor Wat was serene and sacred.
Perfect. Do you remember the steep stairs to the central tower?
Oh yes, they were so narrow that I had to climb like a mountain goat.
I was scared at first, but once we reached the top, the view was unbelievable. Miles of jungle and smaller temples scattered in the distance.
And the wind was so fresh up there. It felt like the world stopped for a few minutes.
I closed my eyes and thought, people once stood here centuries ago, feeling the same wind.
That's a beautiful thought. Traveling to ancient sites really connects you with humanity. You realize we're part of something much bigger.
Exactly. That's what made Angkor Wat so emotional for me. One of my favorite memories was meeting that young monk near the lotus pond. Do you remember him?
Yes, his name was Dara. He couldn't speak much English, but he smiled so kindly.
He showed us how to fold lotus flowers for offering. Such a peaceful moment.
And he said something that stayed in my heart. He said, "Peace is simple. Breathe, smile, and be kind."
I loved that. It was such simple wisdom. And we used that moment to teach a few new English expressions in our travel vlog later, like a moment of peace, a gentle soul, and to feel blessed.
Yes, so for our listeners, here's how you can use them. I felt blessed to meet such kind people. The monk had a gentle soul. We experienced a moment of peace.
Beautiful examples, David. Thank you, Teacher Anna.
Always learning, always sharing.
After exploring for hours, we were starving.
Yes, and we found that little restaurant near the temple entrance.
It was a wooden hut surrounded by palm trees, simple but cozy.
And the food. We had fish amok, a traditional Cambodian curry served in banana leaves.
Ah, it was so creamy and flavorful. I remember saying, this is comfort food for the soul.
Yeah, and I tried Cambodian iced coffee. Strong, sweet, and so good in the heat.
We sat there watching tuk-tuks pass by, and I felt so peaceful. Traveling like that, slow, mindful, it gives you space to reflect.
Absolutely. And that's when we started talking about how travel teaches perspective, how different cultures find happiness in simplicity.
Yes, that conversation really stayed with me. Later that afternoon, we visited Bayon Temple in Angkor Wat, the one with all the smiling stone faces.
Yes, I'll never forget that. Each tower had 4 faces, all smiling serenely. It felt like they were watching over the world with compassion.
I remember saying, this temple smiles at you.
And I said, maybe that's a message, to smile back at life.
That moment taught me something. Peace doesn't always come from quiet. Sometimes it comes from understanding.
Wow, that's deep. You should write that down.
Chuckling, maybe I will. But seriously, Angkor Wat wasn't just a trip. It was a lesson about patience, respect, and gratitude.
And beauty, not just in buildings, but in the people, in their stories, and in their hearts.
So that was our day exploring the temples, from carvings to conversations.
Yes, and in part 3, we'll talk about our final reflections, what Angkor Wat taught us about life, travel, and emotional growth.
And we'll also share some deeper English expressions about gratitude, memory, and culture.
Perfect. So everyone, if you're enjoying this journey, don't forget to listen to part 3.
Until then, keep learning, keep exploring, and keep your heart open.
And remember, peace is simple. Breathe, smile, and be kind.